How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the European Dream here on Football Manager 2019 with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Today, we're still in, obviously, Season 3. It's the second episode of Season 3, and we've moved into September now. Loads to go through, including more transfers, obviously transfers that you guys didn't see in the last episode, because we still had about a week left, obviously, after our Community Shield match. If you've not gone and watched that episode, make sure you go and check it out. Obviously, keeps you up to date with all the players that we brought in. But now we've got some transfers, obviously roundup, and we're going to be kicking off our Champions League campaign today. So let's get into it. But before we move on, guys, then make sure you go and check out our channel partners over at OneFootball. Very similar to Football Manager with the transfers. You can keep up to date with transfers on OneFootball as well. It gives you the latest football news, the latest football score, so you can keep up to date with that during pre-season and obviously going into the new league season. And you can select your favourite team, so push notifications and all the news on there is catered to whichever teams that you want to follow as well. Link to that in the top of the description, free on Android and iOS. But let's move into the transfers. So as you can see, a few players came in. A few players have also gone out. So let's start off with players in. I said I needed a goalkeeper. It was quite a rushed decision. I brought in Diogo Costa from Porto. He's a player that I've used before, a player that grows into a great goalkeeper. It's someone that's not going to play often, but it's also someone that maybe long-term I want to try and bring in. And I thought Diogo Costa, with obviously Dean Henderson and Ross Bat both out on loan. Stupid decision by myself, but I want to make sure they're getting football and their value stays quite high. I've brought Diogo in because I have used it before and he's gone on to be a very successful goalkeeper. At the moment, he's injured for 5 to 6 weeks. In hindsight, I probably should have brought in a homegrown goalkeeper. Would have helped massively with the rules. But at the end of the day, he's a good goalkeeper. He's young and, yeah, not a bad option. Kyle Walker was another player that we brought in. Really, really happy with this transfer. We got Man City to pay about 40k a week of his contract up for another year. But we've got him on about 75k a week at the moment. Obviously, he's got experience. He's getting a little bit older now, but physically he's still fantastic. Such a quick player, and obviously he could play anywhere on the right, really. So happy with that signing. Only played 67 games for Manchester City. Had a good campaign last season, to be honest, with 27 games, but struggled the couple of years before. So big signing for us, to be fair. And finally is a player called Lucio Piccoli, but he cannot get a work permit again. I really need to stop doing this, to be honest, but he's a good young player, good young prospect, can play on the wing and up front, and he's currently at Jumia, where he's scored 2 goals on his debut. Now, players out include Matt Doherty. Other than that, all the rest are loan deals, but Matt Doherty is gone to Chievo. That one happened. Obviously, I pushed to sell him because we had Kyle Walker come in, because Matt Doherty isn't actually homegrown, so we needed an extra homegrown player. I thought we'd bring Kyle in, we'll move on Doherty, who'd been struggling with injuries, hadn't he, really? Only 1 game last season, was almost ever present the year before, but did struggle with injuries last season. But now let's move on to the schedule and how we've been getting on in our last few games. So, as you know, we didn't start off brilliantly in the Community Shield, and we took that into the league, a 1-0 defeat to Brighton. Steve Mooney with the only goal of the game, 84 minutes in a very dominant performance from us, to be honest. We played really, really well, but not happy with that performance whatsoever. We then played Manchester United in the league and also lost out in that game, losing out 1-0. Paul Pogba with the only goal. Jean Martino did have a chance to equalise, also from the penalty spot, but he didn't take it, and Manchester United went and got the win. A very, not a bad performance from us, to be honest. 13 shots, 11 on target. You'd probably expect to score 1 or 2 of those. It's one of the highest on-target ratios that I've seen us have for a long time. But, again, another defeat. We did go on to pick up our first point of the season, but James Maddison got Leicester a lead quite early on. Luka Jovic then scored his first goals for the club, a brace, 16th minute and 46th minute. Great goals, to be honest. But then Marcel Sabitzer with a lovely goal gave Leicester an equaliser and grabbed them a point, really. 2 points dropped for us. Luka Jovic did get man of the match in the end, and it was a dominant performance, but again, not putting away our chances. Another game, another draw as well. It was a late, 2 late goals, to be honest. We brought Divock Origi off the bench, who looked like he was our saviour and grabbed a late goal for us away at Everton, but Nikola Vlasic did grab an equaliser for the Blues at Goodison Park. But then we move on now to the latest game where we lost 2-0 to Chelsea. And as you can see, 5 games into the league season, Pulisic and Rudiger scoring there, by the way. 5 games into the league season, and we are sat rock bottom of the Premier League. Despite winning the Premier League last season, we are really, really struggling at the moment. And it's not good at all. Not good at all. 5 games in, just the 2 points. And we really need to start picking up points sooner rather than later. today we're going to be playing up against West Ham, and our Champions League group is not favourable either. Have a look at that. Real Madrid, Dortmund and Spartak Moscow. Really got to push to get top two. I'd assume be alongside Real Madrid, but Dortmund are no easy team. We played Brighton in the Carabao Cup as well. But I'm thinking today, guys, due to the poor start, it's a change of tactic. And I've brought it back, the 5 at the back, but I've messed about with a few roles and a few instructions. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to see if it can work. I pray it does. I pray it does if we start picking up points. Obviously, we brought in some massive players, some great strikers. And there's only one striker role there, so it's going to be very competitive on that front. But yeah, let's jump into it. See how this new tactic can get on in our first game against West Ham. So then here we are with today's team. And we're starting the 5 at the back. With Divock Origi starting up front, Gnabry and Malcolm as the wingers. Neves and Jack Grealish to sit in the middle. With Vinagre and Mbabu as the wing-backs. Declan Rice, Caleta Carr, Willy Bolly at the back with Patricio in goal. West Ham starting a 4-4-2. Dolberg and Arnautovic up top with Harry Wilson and Yarmolenko as the wingers. Adrian Silva sitting in the middle with Bernardo, with Cresswell, Rojo, Reece Oxford and Durham, with Jack Butland in goal. Interesting team. I like our back 5. It's got that, I don't know, there's a little bit of flair about it, I think, with that left wing back of Vinagre. The back 3, I'm going to be interested to see that. Obviously, Declan Rice against his old team as well. But it's a must-win game for us today, in theory, because if we don't win this game, huge pressure is going to be put on us. As reigning champions, we've really got to start off better. Free kick on the edge of the box. Harry Wilson, who can hit them, and he put it wide. He hit it quite sweetly, though, and it's been a fairly quiet start to this game so far. West Ham, obviously, with that one chance. It's just, this has been our issue. We're not creating enough opportunities, not creating enough clear-cut opportunities, and that's been the case throughout the start of the season onwards. Thrown here, and it will be Vinagre to take. Short to Ruben Neves, who really want to have a good season this term. Gnabry running inside. He'll try and slot it in for Origi, who will pick it up. Tries to whip it in, and it's blocked, and he just left it. You know, he's just left it there. Yarmolenko now will pump it forward towards Arnautovic. Declan Rice did win it on a booking. Have to be aware of that. Vinagre now coming forward into Gnabry again. Serge Gnabry, and tries to slot it in. And Jack Butland makes a very simple save, and that was all we see from that highlight. There's a couple of players that, you know, key players from last season as well, just not performing how we want them. Gnabry's been quiet. All 3 of the strikers, to be honest. First, our top goal scorer, I think, is Jovic with those 2 goals in that one game. You know, we really need to start firing. There's Yarmolenko again, curling it in, and it's a strong save, strong hand there by Rui Patricio. As it stands, we won from bottom. We do come off the bottom spot if we do go on to draw this game. It's Harry Wilson with a throw-in. Willy Bolly away. Yarmolenko only as far as Bernardo. And Vinagre could clear it up. Divock Origi take it round his man. He wins a free kick. And that should be a booking, really, for Eric Durham. And it is. So there we go. Half-time. And it's been a bit end-to-end. Both teams not quite grabbing the game yet, have they? So we'll tell them to keep going. I don't think it's a bad first half. I mean, we haven't conceded. But at the same time, we're not really created the opportunities, have we? Vinagre with the throw-in. Headed away there by West Ham. Only back as far as Ruben Vinagre. Into Declan Rice. Back to Ruben Vinagre here. He'll cut inside. Back to Jack Grealish. Into Gnabry. He will cut in with it. And Gnabry strikes and Gnabry scores. That'll do. That'll do very nicely. Jack Grealish with the assist. Serge Gnabry with a goal. And with half an hour to go, we've gone ahead here against West Ham. And it's exactly what we needed. Just took our time there. Jack Grealish knew what he wanted to do, and we know what Gnabry's like when cutting inside. We know we can hit them. He's done it again today. I'm fairly certain he hit double figures last season. It'd be nice for him to do the same again. We need that sort of positivity. We need that sort of... basically, we need the goals not just coming from the striker, especially in this formation if we're playing a lone forward. It's West Ham with a corner. Harry Wilson with the ball in. Bolly heads away only as far as Arnautovic, who we know can hit them. Back out to Adrian Silva, who whips it back out to Harry Wilson. Ball it towards Arnautovic, who heads it over the bar. Big chance there for West Ham. And straight off the goal kick, we're going to see something as well. Patricio short to Rice. Whips it all the way across to Bolly. Both of those are bookings, which we'll have to keep an eye out on. Malcolm into Grealish, into Origi. Got the overlap there of Mbabu, who's really high. Mbabu now will whip one in towards goal, but Butland saves it. And we'll see what the Englishman will do now. Jack Butland, he'll put it on the floor and whip it forward. Bernardo did enough to, I think it was Neves who missed out on the header. Arnautovic now back out to Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko now back to Bernardo. West Ham with a lot of space and time here. Adrian Silva now to Dolberg into Harry Wilson. And put it in. And Dolberg did well. Kasper Dolberg, great tackle by Mbabu. Harry Wilson back in. Yarmolenko can't miss and he doesn't. Just switched off there. Again, just the basic stuff. And it was a bit of a scrappy goal. Bolly's down injured. Because it was a strong tackle from Dolberg to win that ball back. Thought he was going to whip that one in and score that himself. And Babu did well, but no one followed up on it. And it would have been Vinagre there at the left back position who just switched off. And West Ham are level. West Ham with the corner again. Harry Wilson with the ball in. Yarmolenko's there again and just over the bar. If he could just clip the top of the bar there. And it's 12 minutes to go. And Babu's now at centre back. We've brought a Rana on at right wing back. Adama and Jovic have also come on. Patricio now just whips this one forward. Luka Jovic can pick it up and he'll play in Adama. And we know what his pace is like. Adama just needs that option. He'll find Gnabry at the back post who scores. Lovely, lovely goal. Lovely goal. And Serge Gnabry picks up his second of the game. And Adama Traoré makes that instant impact straight after coming on with 12 minutes to go here. Jovic with a lovely ball over the top. Adama did the right thing. You see so often players shoot there. But he just played it all right on a plate for Serge Gnabry. Smashes it in towards the near post. Keeper stranded. And we're back ahead here against West Ham. It's Cresswell. And there's a full-time whistle. What a victory. First victory of the season. And hopefully now that will give us a bit of a kick up the backside and score some goals and win games. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The 5 at the back tactic, it concedes a lot of chances. We've got to take our own. We did exactly that today. All 3 goals coming in the second half, but we beat West Ham 2-1. So then here are the teams for the game against Dortmund, and you might think I'm crazy, but we've gone back to the 4-4-2 only because of Bolly's injury. It's thrown the centre-back stuff out of shape a little bit, but we'll stick with the 4-4-2, see how it does in Europe, with Jovic and Origi starting as the front 2 today. Gnabry, James Rodriguez, Neves and Traoré across the midfield. Reguilón, Declan Rice, Caleta-Car and Kyle Walker comes in for his debut with Patricio in goal. Dortmund with 4-2-3-1. Timo Horn in goal, Douglas Santos, Retos, Luis Felipe and Pasak at the back. Jonas Hector sitting in defensive midfield alongside Axel Witsel with Rojo and Iwobi on the wings with Goetze and Alcacer up top. So here we are, first game in the Champions League for us and hopefully it's a classic. Hopefully we can get that victory today at home and Molineux. We've just had that victory against West Ham. Hopefully now that can push us on to get a strong positive performance today against Dortmund. Caleta-Car into Adama. He'll pick up the ball here, take on one and loses out. And Douglas will play it up to Royce. Royce into Goetze. Goetze now taking his time with the ball. And James Rodriguez has won it back. Rodriguez will lay in Origi. He'll strike straight into the hands of Timo Horn. So yeah, that may be a little ball through there for Luka Jovic. And he'll pick it up. Jovic. And it's hit the side netting. Big chance there. Caught Dortmund napping. Here's Kyle Walker. Origi into Adama. Adama now on the edge of the area and goes down. And it's going to be a free kick. I mean, the player's on the line. It's going to be a free kick though. But now we've got to wait another 5 minutes for the referee to go and check. And here he comes. What's he going to give? Oh, free kick. Surprise. Right. Let's see if we can do anything off this then. Players are queuing up. Going to be Neves to take it. Ruben Neves. And he whips it in dangerously, but it's over everyone's head out for a goal kick. So there we go, half-time 0-0 at the moment against Dortmund. Quite a quiet game so far, but positive from us, I think. We've had a good amount of chances. Obviously, Kyle Walker and Babu is basically suspended because I think he picked up a red card in the semi-final of the Europa League last season. So Walker, this is his first game back from injury. He's a little bit, you know, tired and unsharp, so we'll keep an eye on that. But if we could get a couple of goals, or a goal at least, and maybe we could bring on a Rana at right back, just to take a little bit less pressure off Walker. Dortmund on the edge of the area now. He won't be back to Hector, into Goetze, to Royce who can hit them, back to Jonas Hector. And the strike there, and it's just hit the top of the bar there, Marco Royce. Very close, but it's been a quiet game. 25 minutes to go. And I think it's time for us to make our first change. And I'm going to bring on Arana anyway for Kyle Walker, who's obviously, you can see there, match sharpness, overall risk of injury is pretty high. We don't want to aggravate that. I'm also going to bring on not James Rodriguez, Raul Jimenez, because we know he is capable of special things in European competitions. He had a great campaign last season in the Europa League. One of their players just picked up a knock there. He's just come off. Here's Arana. Adama couldn't get the ball, but Arana will pick it up now on his right foot. And it's a decent ball towards Jimenez. Hector away only as far as James Rodriguez. Will actually whip it back out. Adama goes down again. Arana now onto his left foot. Out for James Rodriguez, who scores. And it's his first Wolves goal. What a strike. James Rodriguez. And we won the up here against Dortmund with just a few minutes to go. Guilherme Arana did well, obviously out of position, normally a left back. But he lays it off for James, who caresses it in over the goalkeeper. Not over the goalkeeper, across the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. And it looks like we may be holding on to a victory. Or have I spoke a little bit too soon there? We've got 2 minutes left of stoppage time with Dortmund now in possession. Here's Paslak. Hoofed forward. Royce doesn't win the header. Arana does. And here's Adama. And it's a 3-on-2 situation. Now 3-on-3. But Adama's brought it forward. Here's Jimenez. He'll lay it back out for Vinagre. Who'll put it back into Adama. And the tap in there for Origi. And the game has been put to bed. And it's been a very, very successful episode today. It's Wolves 2. Dortmund 0. Back with the 4-4-2. Which is interesting enough. And Vinagre laid it off for Adama Traore, who did well. Timo Horn made a good save. But Divock Origi, with his poacher, well, he was in the right place at the right time, wasn't he? Here's Arana again. Ball in. Vinagre was there for the header. Just got a couple of seconds left. Weigl rushed it. Mafio there gives away a free kick. But I think that'll be full time. The referee now is going to be looking at his watch. And we are over a minute over stoppage time. And there we go. Before Neves gets to take the set piece, we have won this game 2-0. James Rodriguez and Divock Origi with the goals. Very pleasing performance from us there. But before we finish off, I'm going to quickly show you a staff overhaul that we had. There's confirmation of the victory. Real Madrid also beating Spartak. Because a lot of people asked about staff. We lost a lot of our staff. I've brought new people in. I can actually go on transfers, can't I? Let's go on transfers. And I can change it to staff. So, all these staff members that we brought in, a new director of football, actually Gerard Houllier, ex-Villa, ex-Liverpool manager. He's getting on a little bit now, but I thought, had a bit of experience. Some good scouts. Radu Baku, fantastic scouting knowledge. Really, really good scout to bring in. Some great attributes. If you've not heard of him before, young scout as well. But yeah, some good scouts brought in. Obviously, a massive amount of staff went. Mark Campbell, who I think was like the under-18s assistant manager, has gone on to manage Plymouth. But yeah, a lot of staff brought in, some decent people. New head of youth development as well there, Vincenzo Vergini. A decent personality as well, fairly determined, so he can bring in determined players, which also bodes well. But yeah, there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it today. Obviously, affiliate club as well. We haven't got one yet, hence why people are going out to Jamia. But really enjoyed that episode. We've got ourselves back on track a little bit, and hopefully now we can build on that. Make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. And we'll be back very soon for a new episode of the European Dream. Until then, though, guys, thanks for the support as always, and I'll see you all very soon.